Okay, first and foremost, I'd like to say all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash, and double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutation, you Akim out there that's pushing his word in truth and sincerity. We're in the year of 2019, the year of Karagma. You know, we have a lot of things coming to pass in the youth of this year. We're only in the third week of 2019, and all kind of shit is coming to pass. All kind of prophecies are coming to pass. All kind of things are happening. We're in the 31st day of this partial government shutdown. That's some of the things that's taking place in this society. Then you have the kingdom of Esau. They are totally divided against each other. They can't come up with an agreement with the situation with this border, which is all bullshit, because they're trying to pave the way for that Alpha D microchip, man. And it's not a coincidence that the Spirit of the Most High came upon the Apostle Tahar to name this year the year of Karagma, because that's going to be one of the focal points that's going to be pushed. That's going to be one of the main things that's going to be pushed this year, man. Especially dealing with that border situation, man. And the immigrants. And the economy. So despite the economy being, you know, not too great, on the verge of collapsing, the stock market is teetering up and down. You have situation with the border and security with the immigrants, and now you have a race war brewing, because what's going on in Kentucky, you have a situation where you have these students, these high school students, sporting these "Make America Great" hat again that Donald Trump is pushing. What they really want to say is "Make America White Again," and they come up against an Indian chief activist, an old man. But you have the Israelites out there too as well. So basically what the Most High is doing, the Most High is rising us up, man, on a higher level, man. And you can't get around that, man. Esau, you can't get around that. This is prophecy, and it's going to come to happen. It's going to come to pass, man. It's going to happen, man. You cannot get around it, man. I got a few scriptures. Aparatazayu Akim out there will be edified, man. I'm going to get straight into it, man, because this is crucial what's going on right now, man. Why? Because the Most High is rising up Israel, man. The Most High is raising up his men. The Most High is raising up the prophets, his men. You know, even though HOI, which I think that's the group out there, they don't have 100% truth, but guess what? They're pushing Israel, man. So that vibration of Israel, Israelites, is being pushed, man. It's being magnified, man. You see what I'm saying? So this is Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 5. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh. It says, thus saith the Lord, it says, thus, Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 5. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. What's that breath, man? The understanding and the knowledge of these scriptures, man. This truth, man. That's that breath, man. That's going to enter to the 1/3, man. The 144,000. The first fruits of the governing body of the sons of Israel, man. Because the 2/3 is not going to get this, man. The 2/3 is too busy with their head stuck up Esau, the so-called white man's ass, man. And pleasing the black women. And pleasing the Israelite women on a whole, man. So they're not interested in receiving the words of Yahweh Yahweh Shah. They too busy, like I said, with their heads up Esau's red, stinking, funky ass and the nigger woman's ass, man. The rest of the tribes, man. So this is meant for the 1/3, 144,000, the governing body, man, the first fruits, man. It says, verse 6, and I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring you, it's like, and will bring up flesh upon you. That flesh is knowing who you are. You are Israelite. From your prospective tribes. You know who the Lord is and his son. The Lord's name is Yahweh and the son's name is Yahweh. You know these things, man. That's the flesh, man, that's being brought upon you, man. It says, and cover you with skin and put breath in you. The breath is the understanding of these scriptures, man. You being covered with the covering of Yahweh and his son Yahweh, man. Coming back in the fold, knowing who you are. You a Hebrew Israelite, like I said, from your prospective tribe, from Judah on down to Issachar. Knowing the breakdowns, the proper breakdowns, 100% truth of these scriptures, man. The breakdowns, man. You see what I'm saying? It says, I'm going to read it again. Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 6. And I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you. That's knowing who you are, knowing who the Lord is. The breath is the understanding of these holy scriptures, man. You understand what I'm saying? It says, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh. Referring to the 1/3, the governing body of the first fruits of Israel. The men that's out there on the highways and the byways with 100% truth, which is GMS, man. From the apostle to her on down, man. To the elders and the men and the prophets that's pushed this word out there, man. You have other groups, man, that's out there pushing Israel, but Great Millstone has 100% truth, man. You understand? Are you comprehending me? There's no getting around it, man. We out there on the highways and the byways, week in and week out, through the sleet, rain, the snow, the blistering cold, the blazing heat. We put up countless videos on the Urim and the Thummim, which is the internet, which is YouTube, the unicorn. We constantly putting videos out there, man. Edifying the whole for the elect, man. Condemning the 2/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans who can't and won't get right along with Esau and the other nations, man. It says, so I prophesied as I was commanded. And that's why we out there in the highways and the byways, man. Prophesying the downfall of Esau, the so-called white man. Esau, the so-called white man, going into slavery, right along with the rest of the nations. And the destruction of the 2/3 of the Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans that have their head so far up Esau, the so-called white man's ass, all they smell is shit. You understand what I'm saying? It says, so I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. That's the gathering of the elect of the sons of Israel, from Judah on down to Issachar, man. That's going to remember themselves in the land of our captivity and come back to our true power, which was Yahweh and his son Yahweh, man. Yahweh, why Yahweh? So the Most High is raising up his men right before Esau, man. The so-called white men have known about us. That's why he put up something called, what they call Project Megiddo. Because they've been known about Israel, but they try to keep us under wraps, man. No media attention. We out there in the highways and the byways. YouTube constantly taking down our videos. We constantly putting up videos. They constantly flagging our channels. We making more channels and constantly flooding the internet with all kind of edifying videos, man. So this word is getting out, man. Israel, the Most High is raising us up, man. The Most High is raising up his men. The tabernacles of David is being risen up right before Esau's eyes, and Esau is getting nervous, man. He don't know what to do. It says, verse 8, And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them above, and there was no breath in them. Because you got them Israelites, you got Israelites living in the land of America. The Most High is raising up Israel, but you got Israelites, before the Most High put the breath on this, before Abu Bibbins came back on the scene, pushing the word of the Most High, being Elijah the prophet, before Abu Bibbins came back on the scene, you had Israel that's walking, being Muslims, being Kemet, this dead, man. Not knowing who they are, man, calling themselves whatever they was calling themselves, man. At that time, the name of Israel changed throughout the generations, man. First it was called colored, then Afro-American, then African-American, Negro. Whatever Byro Esau push upon us, man, that's what we are called, man. That's what they was calling themselves. But now the Most High is bringing us back to our nationality, who we truly are, man. We are the sons of Israel, man. We are the Israelites, man, the biblical Israelites, man. It says, second as a slot here. Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 10. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them. Now I'm gonna go back a little bit because I'm kind of jumping ahead. This is back in Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 9. Then said he unto me, he is Yahweh, said unto me, prophesy unto the wind. Well, hold on. Let me see. Yeah, come. Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 9. Then he said unto me, this is Yahweh, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, O son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power of Israel, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. They was dead spiritually to who they were, man. Talking about the Israelites that's dwelling in the land of America before Abu Bibbins came, man. They was dead to who they were. They had no sense of direction. They was calling themselves Afro-American, Negro, colored, whatever Byro Esau, the so-called white man, placed upon us. That's what these Negroes, these simple-minded ass Negroes, was calling themselves, man. Until Abu Bibbins, who is in the reincarnation, Elijah. Well, actually, Elijah in the reincarnation is Abu Bibbins, man. And Abu Bibbins came on the scene and prepared the way, man. And, start pushing his word. So it started with Abu Bibbins, man. You understand what I'm saying? That's how the Most High started gathering his elect, man. It says, all right. It says, back in Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 9, then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord power, come from the four winds of the earth, come from the four winds, O breath. And the four winds is the four corners of the earth, man. And how we prophesizing, man? Out there on the highways and the byways, pushing this word. Also do the internet, man, which is doing the heavy lifting, man. YouTube, the World Wide Web, and this word is being pushed through the four winds of the earth, man. So you got Israelite camps in Argentina, Great Britain, Guyana, Australia, the Philippines, wherever there's a great millstone camp, hey man, that's because this word is being pushed. The Most High is having this word go out through the four winds of the earth, man, through the four corners of the earth, the four winds between the four corners of the earth, man. You understand what I'm saying? It says, O breath, and breathe upon these slain. Israelites who are a part of the elect that don't know yet that they're Israelites. So once they receive this word, like it says, Yahushua says, my sheep hear my voice. So once they hear the words of the Most High being broken down 100% through the apostles, Because great millstones only kept us teaching 100% truth, man. They're going to hear the words of the Most High Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Shai. They're going to come back into the fold, man. And that's that breath, man. That's the understanding of the scriptures, man. The breath of life, man. They're going to live, man. How they going to live? Because now they know who they are. They know who the Most High, our power is, man. And they're getting the breakdowns of the proper breakdowns of these scriptures. It says, so I prophesied as He commanded me, as Yahweh commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived. That breath is the understanding of these scriptures, man. Referring to the 144,000 and the 1/3, man, the hopeful elect, man. No, the elect from that's scattered throughout the four winds of the earth, man. The elect is going to hear the words of the Most High and come back in the fold, man. And call themselves Israel from their respective tribes and call upon the name of Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Shai in the land of our captivity. Remembering ourselves, man. And calling upon our holy power, man. Which is Yahweh and His Son name is Yahweh Shai. It says, okay. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power, come from the four winds of breath and breathe upon them, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. So I prophesied as He commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood upon their feet, an exceedingly great army. And that's why you see us out there on the highways and the byways standing up, man. We not sitting down, man. We standing up, man. All these camps, we stand up, we push the word of the Most High, man. In sincerity and in truth, man. Regardless of the weather conditions, man. Whether it be blazing hot, extremely cold, raining, snowing, hailing, braving the conditions in season, out of season, man. Standing upon our feet, reading these scriptures and breaking it down, man. And condemning Esau, the so-called white man, and gathering the hopeful elect, and condemning 2/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans that got your head so far up Esau's ass you can't breathe. It says, Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. They was once dead because they had no life in them. They didn't have the truth in them. But now the Most High is raising up an exceedingly great army. And Esau has seen these things, man, and it's troubling him in his spirit, whereas he can't sleep. He's losing sleep. He's losing sleep. You understand what I'm saying? Because right now you got a group that call themselves the News Unit, a bunch of inbred, toothless, incest, devils, trying to come up against us, calling it, saying, they had a video saying GMS coon hunting, trying to come up against the prophets of the Most High. But they don't know no scriptures, man. They just talk a bunch of shit, man. But guess what? Israel is being heard. Israel is being acknowledged by Esau, the so-called white man, which they did. They've been acknowledged, the Israelites. That's why they got a group. That's why they got something called Project Megiddo. But they try to keep us under wraps. Not mention too much about us, thinking that if we don't mention them, give them more kind of publicity, they'll go away. But no, the Most High is raising up Israel, man. The Most High is raising up Israel to the point whereas you got CNN, CBS, talking about, they call us the black Hebrew Israelites. We not black, man. We're different shades of brown. And we are the Hebrew Israelites, man, from our prospective tribes, man. But of course they're going to demonize us by calling us a hate group, spewing hate and homophobic words. But Esau, the so-called white man, his foundation is pure hate and terrorism, man. So how the fuck could Esau, the so-called white man, say that we are a hate group? This land they call America, which is Babylon, was founded on hate, terrorism, lynchings, rapings, beating. Hey, man, the Most High is raising up Israel, man. It says, back in Ezekiel chapter 37 verse 11, then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say our bones are dried and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. Hey, the bones that are dried are the 2/3, man. But the Most High, like I said, is raising up Israel, man. The 1/3, the 144,000, of the hopeful elect. The Most High is breathing the breath of life upon them, man. Which are these scriptures, man. Only the 2/3, they got their head stuck up Esau, the so-called white man's ass. They're dried. And they have no life in them, man. But 1/3 of the sons of Israel, the 144,000, the first fruits, man, have the breath of life in them, man, which is these scriptures, man. That's why Esau is starting to get nervous, man. The Most High is raising up Israel, man, on a high level. Like I said, now you got CNN, which I call Cartoon News Network, but they speaking about Israel now, man. They calling us, like I said, they calling us black Hebrew Israelites, but there's nothing black about us, man. Because that word black means void of light, man. And we not void of light, man. We have the true light, which is the words of Yahweh Yahweh Shah, man. And that's why Esau, the so-called white man, is getting nervous. Red bastard. It says, verse 12, therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power of Israel, behold, O my people, I will open your graves. Now the graves is not being that they dead. They're spiritually dead. They in a dead state, man, not knowing who they are, man. Calling themselves Kemet, calling themselves Islamic, calling themselves African American, calling themselves black. We are Hebrew Israelites, man, from our perspective tribes, man. The biblical Hebrew Israelites, man. From Judah on down to Issachar, man. That's our true nationality. Not nigger, African American, spit, and whatever else the byword that Esau put upon us, man. You understand what I'm saying? You comprehending me. Because I know you niggas out there is hard of comprehending, man. You're hard of hearing, man. You're slow of heart, man. Which means you're slow of mind, man. Retards. It says, therefore, back in Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 12, therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power of hosts. Behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. Referring to the 1/3 and 144,000, man. That grave represent being in a dead state, not knowing who we are, man. The Most High is raising up Israel, giving us this word, the breakdowns of the Holy Scriptures, giving us his name so we can call upon him. Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Yahweh Shah. Hence, we gonna be brought back in our land, man, that we was driven out of it in the time of 70 AD. In order for you to understand the mysteries, you have to understand the history of Israel, man. It says, verse 13, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh when I have opened your graves, put your nationality back upon you, let you know who you are, give us his name again, bring you back in the fold if you're part of the elect. O my people, and brought you up out of your graves, verse 14, and put my spirit in you. What's the spirit of the Most High? The understanding of these scriptures, man. Observing the high holy days, the Sabbath, observing and doing everything that we have to do to obtain salvation, man. Going out there in the highways and the byways, pushing this word, putting up videos. Doing what we was commanded to do, prophesying, man, unto the wind. Prophesying unto the people, man. It says, verse 14, and ye shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land, and ye shall know that I, the Lord, have spoken it and performed it, saith the Lord Yahweh. Because it's going to happen. The Most High is not a man that he shall lie, man. So the Most High is going to gather the sons of Israel, which are the elect, the 144,000 and the 1/3 from the four winds of the earth, and brings back in our own land, man. I have a few more scriptures real quick. This is before I close it out. This is Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 19. It says, behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee. Now I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it again. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 19. At that time, and we're in the time that's being spoken about right now in Zephaniah, man. The 3rd chapter, the 19th verse. At that time, I will undo all that afflict thee. Undo means to deal with. All that have afflicted thee. Who afflicted us, man? Was not Esau the so-called man afflicting us, man? For how many years? We've been afflicted by Esau. It says, and the rest of the nations, behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out. Hey, who was her? Talking about Israel, man, that was driven out during the time of 70 AD, throughout the four corners of the earth, man, during the time of the Flavian dynasty, Vespasian, Domitian, and Titus, man. You understand what I'm saying? It says, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. And that's why you starting to hear about Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites on CNN. You starting to hear these crackpots, these toothless, incestual, inbred crackers that call themselves the news unit. They starting to speak about us, man. They starting to mention Great Millstone. Why? They said Great Millstone, GMS, coon hunting. Why? Because the Most High is giving us praise and fame in the land that we was put to shame. How we was put to shame in this land? Our women was being raped right before us. We had no power to help them. Our women was being castrated. Our children was being fed to alligators. We were being lynched, beat, our ears cut off, man. Being called boy. That's how we was put to shame in the land of our captivity, which is America. You understand what I'm saying? Are you comprehending me, you dumb niggas? It says, I'm going to read it again. I will save her that was halted, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. And the bulk of the Israelites was put to shame in America. Buck breaking, hit the nigga baby, Trail of Tears, without sanctuary. I can go on and on and on for all the atrocities that the so-called white man, which is Edom, Esau, have committed against the sons of Israel, man. It says, verse 20, at that time I will bring you again, even in the same, at that time I will bring you again, even in the time that I gathered you. We're in that time, man, where the Most High is gathering up Israel. The Most High is gathering Israel up, man. The Most High put the spirit on the 144,000, the 1/3, to push this word, man. Gathering his elect, man. The tabernacles of David, which have been fallen, man. And putting that spirit upon us again, man. At that time will I bring you again, even in the time that I gather you, for I will make you a name and a praise among all people of the earth when I turn back your captivity before your eyes, saith the Lord. For who eyes? Esau, the so-called white man eyes, man. That's why you see all these camps rising up. That's why you start, right? That's why Esau is, the Most High is putting the spirit on Esau to make mention of Israel, man, in the land of our captivity. Because you guess what, man? Esau have known about the Israelites for decades, man. But they kept it under wraps, man. Why? Not trying to shine a light upon it, but the Most High is shining a light upon us, man. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to close it out with this last scripture right here. Because this is going to be after Esau get taken out of his rulership. And all these nations right along with Esau, man. This is Isaiah chapter 60, verse 14. It says, 60 verse 14, it says, the sons also of them that have slacked, the sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come, bending unto thee, and it says, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, man. First and foremost, that's related to the international bankers, man. Because they're going to be the first fruits of slaves, man, pursuant to Isaiah, the 24th chapter, the 21st verse on down, man. They're going to be the first fruits of slaves, man. The international bankers, man. From the Rothschilds, the Oppenheimers, the Gettys, the DuPonts, the Rockefellers. They're going to become crouching. They're going to come crouching to us right along with the rest of the nations, man. They have afflicted us, man. It says, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Lord, the Zion, the monument, that word Zion means monument, of the Holy One of Israel, man. Verse 15, whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee, I will make thee an eternal excellency, a joy of many generations, man. And that's a future prophecy that shall and will come to pass, man. Because the Most High is rising up the sons of Israel, man. You see what I'm saying? That's why Esau is starting to make mention of us on his news stations, man. Such as CNN and CBS, man. The Most High is rising us up, man. And you can't get around that, man. So with that, hope you Akim out there was edified. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash, and double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Hey, Shalom Akim, we almost out this bitch.